Hey, it's Dr. Darren Schmidt at the Nutritional Healing Center of Ann Arbor. And it's been about 3 weeks since I put up a video, and I actually missed it. I missed hitting that upload button. But I've been doing like a hardcore sauna detox program, and I'll do a video about this. And it's for me, it took 15 days. I was in the sauna for 5 hours, in and out. You got to take breaks, 20 minutes in, 20 minutes out. And I'll do a whole video about that. But I'm waiting for some blood tests to come back. I have some results here. And I have I did blood tests the day I went into the sauna for the first time and then the day after. So a few more days I'll get all these results back and then I can do a video about it. But the point of that was to get the black mold out of my body. I've been in this new building now 3 months, and I said, it's time for me to get this out of my body. So I've done the same sauna detox 12 years ago. And so I've had experience with it before. I'll go over some of the successes other people had with it. And it is a supervised sauna detox. It's pretty hardcore. Anyway, so today I want to talk about my carnivory experience, what I've been doing with my diet, the carnivore diet. I experimented with that, and I was very happy. There was some ups and downs with it, but I wrote a list of right here, in chronological order. So, starting with day number one was a Wednesday a couple months ago. And I woke up in the morning, and my dinner the night before was pretty calorie deficient. I woke up very hungry that Wednesday morning. And I had a pound of red meat for breakfast. So I made 4 burger patties. And then for lunch, I had 2. And then for dinner, I had 1. So I had almost 2 pounds of red meat. And I felt absolutely fantastic. And I slept like a baby that night. And my sleep is good already. But I was surprised at how well I slept. So, and then 3 days later, I had a change with my symptoms here with the black mold. So the black mold has caused pain here right around my heart. But there's another symptom that was like a weakness deep inside by my spine. That was gone in 3 days of the carnivore diet. And I had no idea that I was deficient in whatever nutrients are in the red meat. Could be the myoglobin, hemoglobin, carnitine, just the saturated fat. I'm not really sure what it was, but again, another fantastic. I was so happy with those results. So let's see here. So the next week, I started working out again. Now, I hadn't worked out for 3 months because I moved into this new building, and that whole transition from the old office after being there for 13 years. And now in my house, I have a free weight set that I purchased 4 years ago when I bought the house. And so the next week I broke my chest press record with the free weights. So I just felt so physically strong. So that was great. Now the following week, here's one of the down parts. I had constipation, and I'm working out with weights. The constipation was caused by the meat and the lack of fiber, the lack of plants. So I'm working out with weights, and I'm bending over, doing bend over rows, and then I feel a pull in my low back and a separation right around L5. And I thought to myself, oh man, that's going to be bad. It's going to take 2 weeks to recover. Well, 3 days later, I was 100% back to normal. And so that was good that I recovered from that. So I added back in some vegetables. And there are some vegetables my body doesn't like, just a few. And my favorite vegetable, don't tell anybody this, but my favorite vegetable is iceberg lettuce. It's really easy to clean. It's crisp, it's lots of water. And then I put it in a bowl, chop it up with a knife, and I throw a bunch of meat on top of it, and cheese and whatever I want. So yeah, no big deal for me to eat lettuce and salad, more salad. And so luckily, and if you're with me on that, if you don't have any problems with plants, you're lucky. Like there's the oxalates, I wrote down a list. There's phytates, salicylates, glutamate, gluten, sulfates, and thiols. These are some of the plant chemicals that they make to punish you for eating them. Animals will run away, they'll bite you, they'll claw you, but plants can't do that. So they make a bunch of poisons, and you eat them and you feel bad. So most people don't feel bad with plants, but there are a lot of people who do, and they have arthritis or fatigue or something, and they don't know that they're just really allergic to some plants. So, but that's where you experiment with your diet. You got to figure out what your body likes. Okay, so now here's one of the other down things about my experience with the carnivore diet. Now, and I've said this before, I have a tendency to have a biomarker, cardiovascular marker, called lipoprotein A being high. So with a lab test that I run, it's supposed to be less than 75. And a couple of years ago, it was 131. So with ketosis, I brought it down to 89. And I know that I know how to fix it. Now, it's okay that if you have that one marker up and everything else is fine. So I don't have homocysteine high, C-reactive protein, fibrinogen, the VLDL, all that stuff is fine. So, and I do have a friend, cardiologist in Toledo. He said, look, if you just have high lipoprotein A all by itself, not a big deal. So with the carnivore diet, my lipoprotein A went up to 107, from 89 to 107. So then I reduced the protein intake and I increased the vegetables again, and now my lipoprotein A is back to 91. But here's the lessons that I learned from this. This is for my body. Now, in the past, I would eat red meat like twice a week, and my body loves it. And now I know I need to eat it every single day because that's how much better I feel with it. But I also need to get more into get into ketosis more often. So in the past year and a half, I'd get into ketosis twice a month. Talking like 2-3 days a month, and that's it. And it's not that hard for me to get into it, so I just got to be more diligent about that, and not a big deal. I love being in ketosis. And what held me back was that ketones can feed mold, and I would get this horrible chest pain. So I just finished this 15-day sauna detox, and that's much better. So it's all still an experiment. We'll see how that goes as I get deeper into ketosis and more often. All right, but like I said, I'll do a video on the sauna detox thing. Okay, now there's one thing, I'm kind of changing the subject a little bit here. So I said in a video, I think it was March of 2016, and this is one of my favorite discoveries, is the difference between ketosis and veganism. And I said, in that era and beyond, that the vegan diet is better than the standard American diet, and the ketogenic diet is better than veganism. And there's a guy named Dr. Jeff Volek. He's been studying ketosis for 20 years. He says the same thing. He's a researcher at Ohio State. So, but people say, well, why don't you do the both of best worlds, keto vegan? And I've never responded. People will type it in the comments in my YouTube channel, and I've never said yes or no. I've never had an opinion on that. But I'm stating now that I do believe that keto carnivore is better than keto vegan. So you do need the animal fat and protein. Now there's always exceptions, and they're very loud on YouTube. You'll find them on YouTube if you search around in the social media. So there's my stance as a rule of thumb. Remember, rules of thumbs are for thumbs. But the rule of thumb is keto carnivore is better than keto vegan. And then there's just one more thing I want to share with you before I log off, is that I got into a conversation with a guy. We were going back and forth about eating meat versus veganism. And we went back and forth a few times, and I was saying, like, basically the research that supports veganism is not very strong. It's observational studies. And then he looked at my account, my picture, and he says, well, based on your picture, I've been researching nutrition longer than you've been alive. I'm like, okay, that's great. Well, but that doesn't matter, of course. What matters is good data. Do you have good data? And he had asked me, he goes, you need to send me one long-term study showing that ketosis is not even harmful, that it's beneficial. And he said, and you failed to do that. Well, I had bypassed that command because I don't like being pushed around. So yeah, sure enough, I did send him the Virta Health study. That's 1 year, 400 people in ketosis every single day, and their ketone level in their blood started off at 0.6, so it was very mild ketosis. And at the end of 1 year, it was 0.4, and there was a 60% reduction in diabetes, and all these cardiovascular markers got better. So I just want to, I don't know why I wanted to share that one. I guess because I had a university nutrition professor trying to push me around. And then I showed him, right? But it comes down to one, like what does your body want? And I certainly have talked to plenty of vegans, and they need that, and their body needs that diet. So I'm not anti-vegan. I'm not anti-vegan diet by any means. What I'm anti is bad data, bad research, and jerks. So I remember talking to a woman, and she was like 65, I think. That was her age. And we're on the phone, and she goes, I haven't had meat in 40 years. I just haven't had the taste for it. And yeah, I buy that. I believe that. And she's been, her health, she had some challenges, but, like women can pull off veganism much easier than men, number one. And number two, it's what does your taste buds say? What does your body tell you? So there's my update. So actually this weekend, I did one video. I'll release it soon. I got two more. I got multiple. I got probably 3 or 4 more that I need to do. I'm just trying to pound out these videos, and I want to do this live here so that that I haven't like dropped off the face of the earth. I'm still here. So if you like this, please give me a thumbs up. Thanks for watching.